Hi, I'm Danny Ecker with the Chicago Business Today Midday Report. Some suburban Chicago ice rinks financed through bonds in recent years are in default and were part of the same credit bubble that allowed borrowers to buy homes they couldn't afford leading up to the recession. It's not an uncommon tale from the economic downturn, but it's one that could deal a big blow to bondholders that invested with only nonprofit hockey clubs backing them. Our Albie Galoon wrote about the slip-ups of some of the area rinks, and he joins me now. Albie, what was the thinking, I guess, at the time behind financing some of these ice rinks in these areas, massive complexes, when you only had nonprofit hockey clubs backing them?
These are the nicest rinks in the Chicago area, really the envy of a lot of hockey clubs in the Chicago area. State-of-the-art facilities with 3 sheets of regulation size ice, and they're expensive, $20 million for one of them. And it really was similar to what happened it was kind of a sign of the times, really similar to what happened with a lot of residential or commercial real estate during the bubble, where people were just borrowing as much money as they could, and lenders were willing to give it to them without taking a real hard look at whether the projections were realistic or not.
Right, you wrote about how it raises questions here about whether some of these bonds were maybe properly vetted by those that maybe should have been doing the due diligence. What's the big takeaway, you think, from this case?
Well, I mean, I think it just goes to show that if you borrow the full cost of a construction project and there's not much credit backing the project. In this case, it was nonprofit hockey clubs that really don't have a lot of assets. They're not real estate developers. So when you do that, and things don't go right, you're going to have some problems, and that's certainly what happened in this case.
Seems pretty logical when you look back on it now. What's to come of some of these rinks? Obviously, some of them still have quite a bit of debt involved. Any indication as far as what may come of them?
Well, one of them down in Romeoville continues to operate, and that was foreclosed on 2 years ago, and it was sold. There was about $20 million of debt on it, and it was sold to a Canadian company for $3.7 million. So if you look at the gap there, that's going to mean, if you apply that to the rink in West Dundee, which was just hit with a foreclosure suit, that does not bode well for bondholders there. They're looking at millions and millions of dollars of losses. Now, they could restructure the debt. They could find some way of modifying the loan to make it easier for the borrower to keep up on payments, but we won't really know.
Right. In the meantime, the Blackhawks are 6-0. They're off their best start in franchise history, so there's that, right?
Good news there.
Yeah. All right, Albie, thanks a lot.
Thank you.